You know what is up mga Sangkay? Ako na naman po ito nagbabalik para na naman po sa panibago natin pag-uusapan. And if you don't know my name, just call me Sangkay Janjan o sa Tagalog kaibigan Janjan. Kung bago ka pa lang po sa ating channel, welcome na welcome ka po sa mundo ng mga Sangkay. At kung hindi ka pa po nakakapag-subscribe, please subscribe my YouTube channel and click the bell notification para lagi po kayong ma-update sa bawat video na ina-upload po natin. Today mga Sangkay, maganda pong topic o magandang content ang ilalabas po natin ngayon dahil ito po ay patungkol sa katotohanan tungkol sa Marcos Gold o sa libu-libong mga ginto ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos para po mas maliwanagan ang marami na ito po ay totoo at hindi po conspiracy theory. Na ang papanoorin at ilalabas po nating video ngayon ay mula po mismo sa isang lawyer from World Bank na nagsiwala at nabanggit po talaga ang pangalan ni Ferdinand Marcos na siya mismo, sa kanya mismo nakapangalan ang mga gintong ito at hindi po ito basta ginto lamang, napakaraming ginto, libo-libong mga ginto na siyang pag-asa ng Pilipinas kung sakaling mayroon pong isang Marcos na muli mamamayagpag at maglilid muli sa ating bansa na dahil sa mga gintong ito mga Sangkay, magiging mayaman ng Pilipinas. Pero bago po tayo magtuloy-tuloy, syempre, kamustahin po muna natin ang ating mga kababayan from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, Sabah, at maging sa ating mga kababayan na nasa iba't ibang bansa. Shoutout din po sa lahat ng mga kabataan dyan na talagang namang matindi po ang pagsuporta. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Paki-like and follow din po ang Facebook page ng Team Paangat. Ang Team Paangat po ay solidong pro-government na wala pong ibang kagustuhan kundi umangat muli ang ating bayan, mabalik ang disiplina nating mga Pilipino. So eto na mga Sangkay, umpisahan na po natin itong panunood natin sa isang video na dito mas maliliwanagan po talaga kayo mga Sangkay na masasabi nyo na ang Marcos Gold ay totoo pong nag-i-exist at hindi po ito conspiracy theory. Isa pong lawyer from World Bank ang magpapatunay at magsasalita po talaga tungkol sa Marcos Gold na ito na pagkatapos mong panoorin ito, dito mo na masasabi na totoo pala ang Marcos Gold. At ito pala talaga ang magsasalba sa Pilipinas na magiging mayaman muli ang ating bansa. Umpisahan na po natin. Let's go!
The World Bank and its sister organization, the International Monetary Fund, are very special organizations. They are sitting on top of the world's wealth.
So ito mga Sangkay, ang pangalan niya ay si Karen Hughes. Siya po ay isang former World Bank lawyer. Uulitin ko mga Sangkay para mas klaro po sa inyong lahat at mawala po ang pagdududa. Dati po siyang lawyer ng World Bank na naglabas po ng katotohanan patungkol po sa mga ginto ni Ferdinand Marcos. At mapapawaw ka po talaga dito. Ituloy po natin.
Which was put into a secret account, and it has more gold than anybody knows about. And it is cloaked in secrecy. The bankers do not own that money. It's held in benefit for humanity. World Bank and the IMF are listed on a special agreement that was signed in 1950 about that. Assets, it's gold. It's more gold than people know about. It's over 1 million metric tons of gold.
Grabe, no? 1 million metric tons of gold. Hindi lang pala ito pinag-uusapan yung thousands of gold, but millions of gold. Remember mga Sangkay, hindi po nanggaling yan sa chismis, kundi galing po mismo kay Karen Hughes. Grabe, medyo kinikilabutan ako. Tuloy natin.
And the World Bank and the IMF have a special role to play, making sure that that money is spent to the benefit of humanity.
So, where's the gold? A lot of people, some people believe that the gold in Fort Knox has disappeared. That's been in question for many years. Congressmen have attempted to get an audit of the gold in Fort Knox. So 1 million metric tons of gold is not something you can just hide. Where would you say that that gold is being stored?
400,000 metric tons are in the Central Bank of the Philippines. There's over 200,000 metric tons in Union Bank of Switzerland. And some of that gold is buried securely in the Philippines as well. Some of it is held in various banks, but the bulk of it is in the Philippines.
So the World Bank holds the note on that gold?
No. It is in a special trust account that was set up by Ferdinand Marcos, and the authorized signatory is a German banker lawyer by the name of Wolfgang Struck.
Ito daw po ay nakapangalan kay Ferdinand Marcos. At tingnan natin mga sangkay, hindi po ang nagsasalita dito kung sino lamang. Isa pong former lawyer ng World Bank. At ang nakakalula dito mga sangkay, dahil itong ginto na to ay hindi lamang pala thousands of gold, but ito ay millions. Hindi ko alam kung kaano kadami yun. Nalulula ako mga sangkay kasi itong mga ginto na to ay transfer po talaga sa pangalan ni Ferdinand Marcos na isiniwalat po ni Karen Hughes. And imagine mga sangkay, kung mayroon pong isang Marcos na makakatungtong sa Malacanang, ito po ay magagamit, sabi dito, for humanity. At ito mga sangkay, kaklaruhin ko lang, yung about sa humanity na sinasabi, makakatulong po talaga ito sa buong mundo kasi ang world economic ngayon talagang bumabagsak ng bumabagsak mga sangkay, lalo na ngayon may pandemic. So kung ang mga ginto na ito ay marirelease na, kasi mga Marcos lamang po talaga ang susi nito, wala pong iba, di ba sinabi na po ni Karen Hughes na ang mga gintong ito ay nakapangalan lamang po kay Ferdinand Marcos. So mga Marcos lamang po talaga ang susi dito. So kung mailalabas na ang mga gintong ito, makakatulong po ito hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, kundi sa mga bansa na nangangailangan pa po ng tulong. Hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas, pero ang mangyayari, lahat ng mga bansa, magiging sentro ang Pilipinas dahil sa Pilipinas po sila hihingi ng tulong sa pamamagitan po ng mga gintong ito. Kung maaalala nyo, isa sa mga plano ni Ferdinand Marcos bago po siya mawala sa pwesto, mga sangkay, ang maging center po ang Pilipinas sa Asia. Bali, ang ating bansa ay magiging sentro ng Asia. So, imagine kung paanong gagawin yon. So, dito ko naisip na ito ang posibleng mangyari. Na kung hindi po siya umalis sa pwesto at dinala po sa Hawaii, matutuloy ang plano niya na magiging center ang Pilipinas ng buong Asia dahil itutulong niya po ang ilan sa mga gintong ito sa mga karatig bansa. So, ang mangyayari, ang Pilipinas po ang posible maging sentro ng buong Asia kasi yun nga po talaga ang plano. Pero hinarang po ito ng mga Amerikano, mga sangkay. So ito medyo malalim po itong issue dahil ang pinag-uusapan po dito mga ginto ng buong mundo na nakapangalan mismo kay Ferdinand Marcos. So kapag nailabas ang mga gintong ito, lahat ng mga leader ng buong mundo hihingi po talaga ng tulong sa ating bansa. Kung sana po mayroon pong isang Marcos muli na mamumuno sa Pilipinas. Dahil hindi po basta-basta ilalabas ang mga ganitong klaseng ginto. Imagine mga sangkay, hindi lamang po ito libo-libong mga ginto.
So, where's the gold? A lot of people, some people believe that the gold in Fort Knox has disappeared. That's been in question for many years. Congressmen have attempted to get an audit of the gold in Fort Knox. So 1 million metric tons of gold is not something you can just hide. Where would you say that that gold is being stored?
400,000 metric tons are in the Central Bank of the Philippines. There's over 200,000 metric tons in Union Bank of Switzerland, and some of that gold is buried securely in the Philippines as well. Some of it is held in various banks, but the bulk of it is in the Philippines.
So the World Bank holds the note on that gold?
No, it is in a special trust account that was set up by Ferdinand Marcos, and the authorized signatory is a German banker lawyer by the name of Wolfgang Struck, who also lives in the Philippines.
So how do the people get the gold back? If it's their gold and it was taken by these bankers, how do we receive it?
That is the question. And they're just sitting there illegally and refusing to relinquish it. Part of the problem is that this gold is cloaked in secrecy. But in the last month, Wolfgang Struck has been publishing all of the documentation. So it's there for people to see. We have the originals. And people just have to make sure that the banks do what they're required to do, which is release the world's wealth.
Contact Phoenix Journal Review. Independent confirmation of the Philippines gold.
Throughout the Spanish occupation of the Maharlika, members of the Sangkay Italiano clan have been visiting Europe since some of their relatives were English and Austrian. From 1866 to 1898, Prince Julian Macleod Italiano, who became title holder of OCT 01-4 in 1864, had also been frequenting the Vatican. In 1934, under Pope Pius XII, the Vatican negotiated with a member of the Filipino royal family, the Christian Italiano clan in the Maharlika. An agreement was reached that 640,000 metric tons of the Italiano gold would be lent to the Pope. This was part of that gold accumulated by the Southeast Asian Srivijaya and Majapahit Empire during its glorious reign of 900 years. In 1939, two members of the Italiano family and a Roman Catholic priest, Father Jose Antonio Diaz, brought the gold from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, to the Vatican. After doing this, Father Diaz went back to the Maharlika and resided in Cabanatuan City. After World War II, he facilitated the safe return of the 640,000 metric tons of gold from the Vatican to the Maharlika. Manuel Acuna Rojas, a relative of the Acuña and Italiano clan, then a congressman, and Bishop Enrique Sobrepena Sr., in the presence of attorney Lorenzo Tañada, received the gold in Manila. Having gained the trust and confidence of Father Diaz, the Italiano clan made him the main negotiator and trustee of their gold. Father Diaz, in turn, hired the services of attorney Ferdinand Marcos, then a highly recommended brilliant young lawyer having attained notoriety when he successfully defended himself in the Nalundasan case in 1939. The Italiano clan paid commission to Father Diaz and attorney Marcos in gold, 30% from the principal of 640,000 metric tons. In 1949, the two richest men in the world were Father Jose Antonio Diaz and attorney Ferdinand Marcos. Between the two of them, they legitimately earned and owned 192,000 metric tons of gold. Ferdinand Marcos withdrew their share of the gold from the central bank and minted it, RPCB. Sometime later, Father Diaz and Marcos brought their gold to Switzerland, in the Swiss Bank Corporation in Zurich. The remaining 400,000 metric tons of Italiano gold is in the third-floor basement of the central bank minting plant in East Avenue, Quezon City. Gold for gold, dollar for dollar, this country, the Maharlika, is the richest country in the world. During a talk show in a U.S. TV the week following the bombing of the New York Twin Towers, President Bush was asked this question, which is the richest country in the world today? With a smile he said, the Philippines.
On April 9, 1973, Marcos said, "My earthly goods have been placed in the custody and for the disposition of the Marcos Foundation, dedicated to the welfare of the Filipino people."
So ang mga gintong ito ay hindi po basta joke lang, hindi po conspiracy theory, hindi po kasinungalingan, hindi po fake news na gaya ng sinasabi ng Rappler. Ito po ay katotohanan. Ito po yung reason kung bakit ang bet kong maging Pangulo ng Pilipinas ay isang Marcos. Isang Marcos lamang ang makakapagpayaman sa Pilipinas. Sana naman po tumakbo sa pagkapangulo ang ating Vice Presidente na si Bongbong Marcos. Bongbong Marcos for President. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ipanood nyo po ang video na to sa mga pamilya nyo, mga kamag-anak nyo, mga kaibigan nyo, mga kaaway nyo, nang sa ganun mga sangkay, ma-inform po sila na ito pala ang sitwasyon about sa Marcos Gold. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. This is me once again, Sangkay Janjan. Ako na po ay magpapaalam. Lagi nyo pong tatandaan that Jesus loves you. God bless po.